For almost a decade, you guys have watched me evolve into the woman that I am today. From natural hair tutorials to beauty videos, travel vlogs, married life, and every milestone in between. We've had many highs and a handful of lows, but never in my wildest dreams did I imagine all of what exists today, stemming from taking that one risk in 2016. Since then, I have truly dedicated the past 9 years to building this platform through hard work and sacrifice. I have put my all into creating real and authentic content for you guys, showing up as my true self despite what the algorithm deems as popular, relatable, and trendy, keeping a genuine and humble spirit through every new opportunity, accomplishment, and milestone reached. But as we enter year 10, it's time for something new. And no, not another rebrand. This time, we're going back to the mold in real life and in my presence online. It's officially time to rediscover her.
Baby, are you on the way? Home cut cause it's getting late. I've been waiting all day for you to swing my way.
Welcome to the Meeting Her Again series, a compilation of real-time and pre-recorded videos that will serve as mini entries into my digital diary along this journey of realignment and rediscovery. Girl, life in my 30s is wildly different from what I once envisioned it would be. I imagined I'd be a mom by now and settling in or well established in a medical field career. There's no way you could have told 25-year-old Shanice that that would not be her reality 8 years forward. Though it is fair to say back then my judgment was a little clouded and unrealistic due to the underdevelopment of my frontal lobe, one, and two, I can attribute a lot of that to the uncanny timeline we place on ourselves as women in general. Speaking of, I remember that 25th birthday. Oh, baby. Listen to me. You just had to be there. If you know, you know. I had a complete meltdown about everything. Primarily my surprise party. I was under the impression that it was going to result in an engagement, but as we all know, that was not the case. Anywho, though, as the dust settled post-party, I remember going into a frenzy about my career, my relationship, and how my future was going to unfold because nothing was going as planned or anticipated. Honestly, it was just a whole list of things that were out of my control. And at that moment, I felt like I was spiraling and nothing was going to get back on track. But as the old folks would say, the way to make God laugh is to tell him your plans. At that point, I vividly remember my mom telling me to let go of the life that I thought I would have, take control of the things that I could, and put my faith into God because he has the final say so. She told me that time is truly a thief, and before you know it, the years were going to feel like they were going by twos and fives. And boy, did she not lie about that. This was pre-pandemic time, might I add. So yeah. I feel like we all lost about 2 to 3 years off our life, like pre-pandemic was a time. But anywho, let's get back on track. So here came 29, living in an answered prayer, not realizing that things were falling into place exactly how God intended them to. I was engaged, honey, planning a wedding, living in the home we had just purchased, and I doubled down and quit my job in the lab to pursue a full-time career in creating content. And like I said, pre-pandemic, who would have even thought content creation would be considered a real job? Because I had no idea people were making the amount of money they were on social media. And it's crazy how in life we get so wrapped up on what's next that we fail to live in the moment and actually express gratitude for the things that we have. Like, if I knew then what I know now, I would have definitely cherished everything that I was doing a lot more. Not to say that I regret anything, but come on, let's be for real. That was a bold move, and shout out to God for carrying me from then until now. Speaking of, let's fast forward to the present. I've told you guys this before. After turning 30, a whirlwind of emotions came rushing in, some of which made me question every single thing about myself, and others I've never been more sure about. This season of my life has truly felt like a new beginning, a rebirth almost. The sudden urge to put myself first, honor my boundaries, cut ties with things and people that just no longer serve me, create a safe environment for my nervous system, because if you know, you know, and to go after everything I've ever dreamed of, no matter how unattainable they once felt. And that began to probe a few questions. Who am I? Am I even aligned with my purpose? What is my niche on social media and in real life? And what does this career look like beyond showing up on camera and creating content day to day? So, getting to the root of things has been top priority on my list. And in doing so, I've been reassessing my desires versus what society has conditioned me into wanting, unlearning trauma responses and toxic behaviors, and strengthening my relationship with God and grounding myself in His Word. So here's what I've realized. I did fall victim to the routine of things, just going through the motions day by day, month to month, and before I knew it, year after year. I simply became complacent with the lifestyle that I have adapted, which, if you know me, that was the polar opposite of the what's next mentality I have always had. And there's a pretty thin line between being grounded in the present versus being so uninspired you can almost care less as to what happens next. And that within itself has been a struggle. So let's unpack right here. I've always been a planner, goal-oriented and driven by a checklist, okay? Very much so type A. I can pick and choose when I want to be type B, but any move that I make is premeditated and well thought out from every angle. But lately, things have just not gone according to the script, the plan. Where is it? We're falling back into that realm of 25-year-old Shanice. So many things are revisiting me, and it's almost insane to come to grips with. This is familiar yet unfamiliar territory for me. I'm so accustomed to brainstorming, creating a strategy, and following through with execution. 9 times out of 10, landing on my feet every time. One of God's favorites, if you will. But don't get it mistaken. It's never luck. I've earned every bit of the blessings that you see upon my life today. I'm talking fought tooth and nail, and God be having to sit me down sometimes, humble me real good, but you guys get the picture. This waiting season, though, has been a tricky one for sure. And I know I've talked to you guys about it before. It's frustrating, discouraging, and unsettling to say the least. I fell into the spat of doubting myself and my capabilities in things that I've been doing for the past 9 years. Then the question, of course, Lord, why me, started to flood. Like, I've done everything the right way. What more can I do? I've done the late nights and the early mornings. I've been consistent. I've been faithful. But the harsh reality of it is instant gratification is not guaranteed at the finish line of every race. And the devil likes to creep in when you're tired. I actually stumbled upon this message as I was doom scrolling on TikTok, and I knew God intended it for me.
The most dangerous moment in our faith is when you're close but tired. Faith does not fail in opposition. It fails in exhaustion, because for the majority of us, our faith doesn't fail because I'm facing something. It fails because I've been facing something for too long. Some of you, you're looking at seasons where you gave up on faith. It's not because hard times hit. It's because hard times hit and they lasted longer than you anticipated. I'm trying to tell you that exhaustion is a trap. And the enemy knows that it is in exhaustion that you are most vulnerable. Because when you're tired, you make bad decisions. When you're tired, you don't think straight. When you're tired, you begin to consider whether all this is really worth it. So knowing this about fatigue, you'll understand that sometimes the enemy doesn't have to defeat you. He just has to wear you out. Because everybody wants to talk about how he comes to steal, kill, and destroy, and that's true, but sometimes he doesn't have to destroy you. He can just tire you out. Because if he gets you tired enough, you'll destroy yourself. And some of us in here, we are tired, but hear me, I came here to let you know today that some of us in here, majority of us, that you are closer than you think.
So instead of tensing up, getting tired and throwing the towel in, allowing my idle mind to be the devil's playground, or just allowing my faith to waver, I'm learning how to pivot and navigate through it all. No plan B or C, just an alternate route to plan A. This is now a turning point where I am working to realign myself with my purpose, and staying the course comes with obedience. At the top of this year, the pastor delivered a message about purpose. And you know how some sermons just give you that instant confirmation or conviction, just depends on how you feeling that day. It just felt like he was speaking directly towards me the entire time. He said that purpose is a God-given calling. The goal is not to be satisfied by what you have, but to discover why you have it. And until you discover your purpose, get busy serving a need right where you are. Hold on, because y'all ain't hear that. Until you discover your purpose, get busy serving a need right where you are. Somebody pass me my handkerchief, because I am preaching. Well, I'm just repeating what the pastor said. But y'all, listen. He said, because you will either be led by purpose, driven by greed, or meander through life's maze of mediocrity. I left church that day. I went to brunch with my girl, and then I brought my tail home and I journaled so good what my intentions for 2026 were, what my goals were, what I was going to be working on, because let me tell you something, I will never be meandering through life's maze of mediocrity. That put a chip on my shoulder. Do y'all hear me? That message gathered me up so good. It really recentered my focus, and I just came to the realization that I was distracted, y'all. I really have been distracted. So many life events going on around me on a daily, me getting complacent, and then I began to consume more content than I was creating. Never to the likelihood of comparing myself, but you always measure based upon, well, I've been doing this for 10 years. How she get it in 5? You know what I'm saying? Those type of situations was going on, and that was not a good feeling. I was literally convincing myself that maybe I couldn't keep up and compared to the mainstream aesthetic that was being pushed. But I began to think to myself, what led you to creating content in the first place? What did you want your audience to take away from the content that you were creating? And how impactful did you want your content to be on the lives of others? I began to decenter the tangible attributes that I became so fixated on as a result of success in this line of work. Don't know what I'm talking about? Let me give you a few examples. The views, surpassing or at least reaching 100K, getting free products, opportunities for brand trips, just to name a few. While these are rewards of the work I was called to do, they shouldn't be my primary focus, not the end goal ultimately, because what God has for me is bigger than all of that. So where are we? I'm sure you're wondering. I'm learning to fall back in love with the craft, the art of creating content itself. And I remember last month as Vlogmas was piping up, or it might have been in the very beginning, tomato, you know, who's counting? Anywho, I was on the phone with Lanisa and I was spiraling a little bit. So much was piling up and I just felt like I couldn't get a hold on things. And she said one thing that really stuck out to me. And she said, friend, don't forget to have fun. Yes, this is your job. You have to take it seriously. You have made a commitment to following through and doing Vlogmas, but have fun, enjoy where you are, and just create the content. We're gonna be there cheering you on, watching regardless. Post it in the morning, post it at night. Post it when you feel like it. Don't post it at all. Hell, but just remember the entire reason that you're doing this and to have fun. And I know a lot of you guys tell me that in the comments, but it just hits different knowing that this is now what has replaced my 9 to 5. And when things aren't going well, or they're shifting or declining, whatever the case may be, my livelihood is directly affected. So it can be stressful, and that's why it's just so important to keep your hobbies and things that you like to do as just that, because when they become a monetary gain, it has the potential to suck all of the life or just a little bit out of it. But I am working on going back to a lighter heart when it comes to creating content and fully being able to have fun while doing it, and just the ability to serve in this position that God has called me to. Instead of getting so hung up by what's in it for me, I'm working on just being more intentional about who I'm doing it for, and to whom much is given, much is required. There's no way that I can truly expect to excel by operating in a state of mediocrity and just panic, because I feel like all of that is felt through the camera, or maybe you guys don't feel it at all, but I don't shy away from telling y'all my feelings when I'm feeling them, and I know y'all about tired of hearing me talk about it. So no, I'm not being hard on myself. This is just me working through what's been holding me back. Now, what does the future of creating content look like? Girl, only God knows. I'm going to leave that in His hands. Things are changing every single day. What I am secure in, though, is my ability to be teachable and to move with the times. I am also simultaneously building a small business that will become a household name in the future. So the longevity in entrepreneurship is not of question to me. Not right now. But I do wonder how things are going to shift as the littles are introduced to the family. Ooh, the forbidden topic has now entered the group chat, and inquiring minds would love to know. Yes, my husband and I want to expand our family. If you're an OG here, this comes at no surprise. We do not, though, have any projected dates or plans, so don't get started. We're on whatever God is on, honestly. And what I have learned over the past 4 years of marriage is that there is so much power in privacy, and not everything requires an update, especially with the nature of how social media is today. Everyone takes everything and runs with it. So providing people with a front row seat to your life and a step-by-step playbook is a choice, and it won't be of the choosings of me, okay? Because there is so much beauty in the element of surprise, and when things are dear to you, you just learn how to protect them. So when we're fully equipped and prepared to bring you guys along for any journey, we will. But I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like keeping things to myself, because as a creator, you're accustomed to putting more than the average person will out there anyway. So when you just have that one little thing that you can keep a secret, girl, let me tell you something. You be trying to drag it, and your girl, yeah, I'ma drag it. But what I can say is I have always desired motherhood. If you know me, you know I'm a natural nurturer. Like, that was the number one thing right after my career I wanted to have as I grew up. I just have a motherly aura. It's in me, baby. I don't know. It's just in me. Not on me. It's in me. But in this season, the most valuable lesson that God has taught me is how to genuinely show up for others while I'm waiting my turn. I'm also learning how to regulate my emotions, revisiting my childhood, and healing from the unspoken. I'm breaking generational curses while creating generational wealth. And most importantly, I'm cherishing the time that Sim and I have together while it's just the two of us, because this time we will never get back. And quite frankly, I am enjoying auntie-hood. Like, I love everything about it. I can love on the babies, spoil them to death, and return them to sender, because see, when auntie want to get up and go outside, she gonna go outside, no strings attached, except for Deuce. But he's self-sufficient. He can at least stay home for 8+ hours, or we can send him to daycare, and we don't necessarily, knock on wood, have to worry about too much. But one of the realest things that I can tell you guys about this, probably the first and last time I will discuss it here on my channel, is when Shayna had Mecca, it lifted a weight off of me, y'all. I don't think y'all understand how much pressure I was getting from my family, distant relatives, as well as every single person here online. I mean, the ink hadn't even dried on our marriage certificate, and people were asking us about kids. And while we were very forthcoming prior to marriage about wanting children and just being so excited for them to come, I had no idea that I would be shackled to the question of, are you pregnant? When are you guys expanding the family? Where's baby Springer? When are you guys going to be planning for baby Springer? Are you team girl or team boy? How many kids do you want to have? It got crazy real quick. And I think with it being such a taboo topic, sensitive conversation, because truthfully, you don't know. And I've taken, girl, anyway, the measures, okay? We're doing all the things. It's so scary. And then you got all of these online medical professionals that want to come and just throw and project all of what they see and what they hear and what happened to their cousin, sister, homegirl, best friend onto you. And it's just like, hey, babe, yeah, no, let's not do that. Please and thank you. So back to what I was saying to begin with, because y'all see how that tangent gets to rolling. Yeah. I know it's a natural thing. I've seen it happen. I was guilty of doing this when Tion and Devin got married, so I understand the excitement. And even though you guys are complete and utter strangers, we have built such a strong community here, and naturally you do feel closer to me, but y'all, we still don't know each other. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't point y'all out in a lineup or passing by in the store. You guys just happen to know me because of what I share. But one thing I'm never going to do is overdo it here on the internet. I'm just old school, and I like my privacy how I like my privacy. Social media is already enough for me, and being a Virgo, I'm naturally guarded. So me showing up in the capacity that I do, please take it and don't abuse it. Love on it, please. And I know we talk about this very often, but in this season of my life and just with this series, I want to break down a few of those barriers. You know what I'm saying? Let my guard down a little inch, because who's going to show up for these episodes will be the ones that really know the tea. Not just the regulars that are watching the vlogs and the travel videos and all the things. Nah, y'all gonna know the real. But it is a part of my life, and as I am getting older, these are thoughts and questions that we have, and planning out parenthood is such a beautiful thing, especially when you wait to do it and you're able to have some type of control for the most part, because God has the last say so. But when you're able to plan things out and you just have to think about things, trust me guys, I get it. I know. I'm feeling it, but I don't need the constant insensitive reminders. And, you know, there's going to be more of the questions that hit the fan, but I do want to be as transparent as I possibly could, because I honestly want to choke up anytime I talk about things I do not want to talk about. But let's go ahead and refocus, because girl, how did we get where we got? Hear me. I don't know what I'm going to talk about in the chit chat. Get ready with me. I probably should have thought about this before we doing it. But back to the script, Shanice, please. Ultimately, my 30s have taught me that life is all about perspective. Glass half full or half empty type of vibe. And there's nothing I can do without the presence of God. Like, I need him at the forefront of every decision, everything that I put my hand in, you name it, God got to be there unless I don't want it. So I am constantly working towards becoming a better version of myself, learning what I can and cannot control in every situation, acquiring new hobbies, and fueling many passion projects that I will not be turning into any form of compensation. And I'm maintaining my health while exercising my ability to just move daily, which is an underrated blessing that we do not thank God enough for, and we don't take advantage of it as we should. Go stretch them bodies, ladies. Anyway, I'm expressing gratitude for even the smallest of things, and I'm trusting that God's plan is going to blow my mind, because I am indeed exactly where I'm supposed to be. I'm in a rush. God isn't. I am limiting myself. God has not. And I already know that He is calling me to go bigger. And I keep boxing myself in, and I'm worried about frivolous things that just have no concern of me. And the journey matters more than the destination, because it's what you learn along the way that will stick with you forever. So yeah, that concludes chapter 1 of the Meeting Her Again series. I am so excited to continue bringing these videos to you guys. And as I grow, I pray that I'm able to inspire someone else who may be in my shoes. You've been here before, and it's just refreshing to see someone else go through the motions that you once did. Or if you're not even at this point, just knowing what you have to look forward to in the future. I promise I'm not crazy, but I just feel like this is my digital diary, and we have so much to unpack. There is so many layers to me that I am working on opening up to you guys, because life is not perfect as it is perceived. Like, girl, I am human. I have bad days. I do not have everything figured out. Contrary to popular belief, my house gets dirty. Okay? My husband and I, we argue. My friends and I, we don't agree and see eye to eye on everything. My family ain't no different from anybody else out here. It gets sticky. It's a little messy, honestly. And you guys don't even know the half. So I know social media portrays this picture perfect, unrealistic idea of what someone's life is. But remember, we get to choose what we share and what we don't share. And if you do have the option to be a light, be inspirational, and bring people joy, sometimes you don't want to overload people with your problems. You want to be an outlet so they can escape theirs. Yeah, you guys, I'm not going to ramble and drag things out any longer than what I already have. I've gone off script a few times in today's episode, but you guys know it's coming from the heart, and I really enjoy sitting up and chatting with y'all. So if you did enjoy today's video and you're excited about this new series, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Spam the comment section down below. Put some pink hearts down there to let your girl know that you made it all the way to the end. I would love to hear your thoughts and feedback from everything. Please keep it cute. If you have not done so already, be sure to hit that red subscribe button before you head out today. And don't forget to tap the bell so you don't miss notifications every time I upload. I love you guys so much, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace, guys.
Baby, are you on the way? Home cut, cause it's getting late. I've been waiting all day for you.